We are back with more warships. Now we are at 4 ER. I did the jump yesterday. I actually jumped with basically nothing. I only had enough keys to start off with to get the sky shield, which is what I did. And then I had to spend the day just grabbing a couple of chests to get me through to Rocket Choppas. And then today I've picked up building damage as well. As you can see, we have added snipers from the 2 ER node down here. We've added that in. Anybody who's a fan of the streams and has come by and watch me say at least 1,000 times that I absolutely suck with Rocket Choppas. So I made the effort this season to go out my way to actually learn how to do it, and it's actually easier than it looks. Or should I say it's easier than what I make it look. I think that's fair to say. So in today's video, I'm going to pass on what I've learned over the last couple of days, doing a few attacks. You see, my log looks a lot healthier since picking up Rocket Choppas as well, which is good. I'm going to pass this knowledge on to you guys right now. Let's jump straight into it. All right, so let's start off with my layout. As you can see, I've got all the mines and stuff along the paths, like the shock mines, boom mines, normal mines, along the paths that the seekers are going to take, or heavies. I'm still getting people heavy rushing me a little bit as well. And then we've got the snipers and the cannons positioned around the ERs to take pop shots at the rocket chopper attacks. Obviously the machine guns attack them as well. And then we've got the 3 rocket launchers in the middle, deal a little bit of extra damage to those rocket choppers to try and force a fizzle. We have got the sky shield back here with the ER and a cannon underneath. Really, if I was going to do it properly, I would have something else under there, like a sniper or something maybe. Don't forget, when it comes to using your sky shield, anything that's inside that thin lined circle is what's protected, whereas the bigger, thicker line on top is just there for visual representation to show it's like 3D and stuff. But yeah, the actual protection, the actual tiles that are protected are the ones that are inside the thinner circle. So make sure you got nothing poking, none of the corners of any of the ER or defenses and stuff are poking out under that thin line, because if they are, guess what? And they can be flared and they can be tagged with artillery and things like that as well. So anything that's poking or touching that thin line can be hit with flares and artillery. Having that sky shield means that players can't Hail Mary the last ER unless they have max arty, in which case they can obviously arty out the sky shield and then send that Hail Mary flare. But that is going to cost them quite a lot of GBE, so they won't have as many GBE for shots on cannons and snipers and stuff. So again, it's all about trying to force your opponent to fizzle. So in terms of tech, basically it's pretty much the same as what it was before. Still only got tick 1 arty, but I have added in the snipers. Like I said, we've got building health, tick 4 flare, max shock bomb, max brick, max TD. I have now got building damage as well at 4 but I haven't actually played any battles since getting that. Obviously next step is critter launchers and then probably the damage amp and then on to seekers. So that is the plan. Let's jump in. I'll show you a few of these attacks. Okay, starting off with this one. This one's obviously quite a naked layout. What we did on this one was dropped all rocket choppers off the rip, put a shot down on that first machine gun and cannon. Cannons are the main issue for me. I mean, they're the ones that can take out a rocket chopper in one hit, like we've seen there. But on this one, because it was quite naked, I was able to flare up the right-hand side, straight up to the back, pretty much unscathed, and then literally just across the back. They'll naturally target defenses first, which is good, and then once they take out the cannon and stuff, they turn and take the last ER. So when you can flare around the edge, skip as many defenses as you can. Similar story on this one. However, with this one, I made use of brick to help take out that last ER a bit quicker. So again, we're dropping all rocket choppers down. We're letting them clear, shocking the cannons and stuff along the way. You can see here, brick gets caught on the shock mine. It doesn't matter because I didn't really need her at this point anyway. I want her to head over towards this ER, which she was exactly what she did. Then as we've cleared into this top ER, putting the shocks down on the cannons and stuff, what happened was he took down this second to last ER, and you can see brick is already in range of the last one. As soon as that top one goes down, we've Hail Married that and then spam the cluster grenade to take that ER out straight away. So obviously save a little bit of GBE, because obviously cluster grenade is going to take a bit off here, but you can take that last ER down a bit quicker than what it would be waiting for the rocket choppers to get there and do it. Quite a lot of the bases have that 1 ER, sort of down one side or near the front, which is relatively undefended, which means you can either drop brick late or like I did there, start the attack or whatever. So this one is a full clear, and as you can see, we've got extra defenses on this one. We've got the mortars and the snipers and everything else as well. So again, I just literally dropped them all out with brick, and we're just going to let them do their thing. Take this first AR out, and then we're just going to use our GBE to shock the cannons and machine guns and snipers. The trick is to send the shocks like 1 or 2 seconds ahead of when you actually need it. That way then you don't get hit by a cannon taking a pop shot before the shock lands. You sort of need to be playing with shocks ahead of yourself. That way then you don't fizzle, you don't lose your rocket choppers. Okay, so this one again is like I said about leaving brick late. You can see I dropped all the rocket choppers over the right side, dropped the cannons like I said ahead of time, so that when the rocket choppers come into range they don't get taken out. So as soon as they've taken down this first ER, and then we're going to flare up the right hand side. Machine guns here are really the only threat to start off with. Obviously the cannon over the back there. It is worth noting that when you're looking at the rocket choppers, it's hard to work out exactly where they are in terms of when they're coming into range of stuff. They can sometimes look like they're closer to defenses than what they actually are. What I've noticed is if you look at below them, you can see there's a shadow. That is like their tile positioning on the actual deck. That's what, you know, defenses and that are looking for. It's not pin perfect, it's not exact, but it's as close as you're gonna get. So if you look at the shadows instead of the actual helicopters, you'll know exactly where your troops are. So you can see as they come into range here, this cannon's going to turn, obviously. So we're going to get a shock down on that. And then we're going to let these guys clear in. Once this cannon goes down, you can then think about sending the Hail Mary, just like so. And then what we did was, as that one went down, we've dropped brick on the beach. And then we're going to come up, we're going to Hail Mary this ER, put our shock down, and we are going to spam that cluster grenade once again to take that last ER out as quick as possible. The sooner you can drop brick, the faster this strategy will be. But obviously that depends on like defenses and stuff that are around it. So you sort of need to play that one by ear, quite layout dependent. So for me, the biggest things of note are where your troops actually are, like taking a look at that shadow instead of where the actual choppers are, because the choppers aren't where they are on the deck, if that makes sense. The shadows show their true positioning on the actual deck. Always shocking ahead of yourself. You need to shock, you know, half a second to a second early. That way then you don't lose a rocket chopper to a cannon turning and shooting whilst the shock's in the air. Have that shock down before the troops are even getting into range. You can get this pretty close so that the shock lands exactly as they're coming into range. You'll get a feel for that. Machine guns aren't too much of a threat at this point. Obviously building damage is going to be coming into play, so just keep an eye on that. Snipers and cannons and rocket launchers are what's going to cause the most fizzles. Make your bases nice and dirty with your cannons around your ERs. Machine guns, that mix in there as well with the rocket launchers in the middle. So yeah, if I've missed anything, guys, if you rocket chopper pros out there think that I should have covered something and I haven't, drop a comment down below, let me know, and yeah, maybe we'll pin the comment with some more tips and stuff for other people to learn from. But I hope this has helped somebody, at least one person out there maybe, to get their head around how to use these guys, because they are pretty good. They are really effective for warships. They are part of the meta more often than not, so you do need to learn how to use them. But that was like how I seen it this season. You know, I need to learn how to use them, so we're gonna learn. And yeah, I mean, I think we're doing all right. Times wise, this was my first one, so 2:59 on that one, 2:59 again. That was a fizzle. That was a 2:59 and a 3:03 there on Puppy Kicker. That was using brick to take out the last ER. So using that brick strategy with cluster is definitely worth it. The other thing that is worth of note is I've seen people using 2 boats of heavies to be like a meat shield for them. So what they do is they drop the heavies down first, and then as you're clearing through, the heavies act as meat shields. Think of it like heavy Zuka, but it's like heavy rocket chopper. Personally, I don't think you need to do that. Not at the moment anyway. I'm having plenty of success with just using all rocket choppers. So yeah, maybe give that a go if you think it's worth it. Watch a few of the replays, see if there's somebody on your log who's done that, and you know, take it from there. But anyway, guys, I've waffled on enough for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.